Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The studio lights were warmer than usual that morning, bathing the set in a honeyed glow that felt almost nostalgic. The mugs on the table were placed just so, the cue cards stacked neatly, the band ready to strike the familiar tune that had ushered millions into their mornings for decades. Everything looked the same, comfortingly, deceptively the same. And yet, for those who would later replay the moment frame by frame, there was a tremor in the air, a quiet sense that something unspoken was about to break through the routine. Kelly Ripa walked out smiling, as she always did, bright, buoyant, the kind of presence that made living rooms feel a little less lonely. Her laughter arrived a beat early, her wave a touch longer. If you weren't paying close attention, you'd miss it, but longtime viewers, those who had grown up with her voice in the background of their breakfasts, felt it immediately. The smile was brave. The eyes were carrying something heavy. She sat, took a breath, and glanced down at her notes. Then she looked up, directly into the camera, the way she had done through pregnancies and promotions, losses and laughter, world-changing headlines and ordinary mornings. The band softened, the chatter faded, and with a voice that trembled despite her best efforts, Kelly Ripa began to speak. "I didn't think I'd be doing this today," she said, a small laugh escaping, as if humor might still save the moment. "But life has a funny way of changing the script." Across the country, coffee cups paused mid-air, phones were lifted, group chats lit up. A hush settled over the audience, not just in the studio, but in homes, hospital waiting rooms, kitchens, and break rooms everywhere. This wasn't a tease for a commercial break. This was something else. Kelly spoke of mornings that turned into memories before you realized they were passing. She spoke of gratitude for the crew who became family, for co-hosts who challenged and championed her, for viewers who trusted her with their mornings. She spoke of time, that invisible thief, and how suddenly precious it becomes when you're brave enough to look at it honestly. And then she stopped. Her hands folded together, knuckles whitening. Her eyes glistened. The smile, valiant until now, finally gave way. "I need to say goodbye," she whispered. The word landed with a thud. Goodbye. Not see you tomorrow. Not after the break. Goodbye. Gasps rippled through the studio. The band went silent. Her co-host turned toward her, eyes wide, mouth parted in disbelief. Somewhere off camera, a producer pressed a hand to their lips. This wasn't in the rundown. This wasn't planned. Or if it was, it hadn't prepared anyone for the weight of it. Kelly explained, carefully, kindly, that life had presented her with a moment she couldn't ignore, a season that needed her attention, a choice that required courage. She didn't frame it as an ending, but as a turning. Still, the pain was unmistakable. "For so long," she said, voice breaking now, "this place has been my home. You've been my extended family, and saying goodbye to family, it's not easy." Tears slipped free, not dramatic, not performative, just human. Social media erupted in real time. Clips spread faster than anyone could control. Hashtags bloomed. Viewers wrote what they couldn't say aloud. "I grew up with you. You helped me through the hardest mornings. Please don't go." Kelly dabbed at her eyes, apologizing through a laugh that barely held together. "I promised myself I wouldn't cry," which only made the audience cry harder. She took a moment to acknowledge the milestones, weddings celebrated on air, babies introduced to the world, the quiet mornings after tragedy when words felt inadequate, but presence mattered. She spoke of learning to show up even when it was hard, of finding joy in routine, of the strange intimacy of live television where mistakes become memories and vulnerability becomes strength. Her co-host finally spoke, voice thick. "You can't just leave us like this." Kelly reached for their hand. "I'm not leaving you. I'm just stepping into a different chapter. But chapters end even when stories continue, and everyone in that studio knew they were witnessing the close of one. The camera cut to the audience, faces wet with tears, hands clasped together. Some had been coming for years, faithful as clockwork. Others were there for the first time, unknowingly walking into television history. All of them stood when the applause began. It wasn't loud at first. It grew wave upon wave until it filled the space with gratitude and grief intertwined. Kelly stood too, pressing her hand to her heart. The applause didn't stop. It couldn't. It was everything the audience had left to give. "I don't know what mornings will look like without you," she said, turning back to the camera. "But I know this, whatever you're facing today, you're not alone. Be kind to yourself, be brave, and don't be afraid to say goodbye when it's time." The band returned, tentative at first, then steady. The music swelled. The camera pulled back, capturing the moment, the tears, the smiles, the standing ovation that felt endless. When the show finally cut to commercial, it was as if the world exhaled.
Within minutes, tributes poured in. Celebrities shared behind-the-scenes photos and heartfelt messages. Former co-hosts recalled first days and unforgettable bloopers. Viewers posted grainy screenshots from old TVs, stories of watching while holding newborns or caring for loved ones, of mornings when Kelly's laughter felt like a lifeline. Speculation followed, as it always does. Was it permanent? Would she return? What prompted the decision? But beneath the questions was a shared understanding. Something meaningful had happened. A woman who had given so much of herself to the public had chosen, at least for now, to step back and honor her own life beyond the lights. Later that evening, Kelly posted a simple message. No filters, no flourish, just gratitude. "Thank you for growing up with me. This isn't the end, just a pause. I love you." The comments were a flood of hearts and tears, gratitude and disbelief. People didn't just watch Kelly Ripa, they lived alongside her, and losing that daily presence felt, to many, like losing a friend. In the days that followed, replays aired, commentators analyzed every word, fans debated the meaning of goodbye. But the moment itself remained untouched, pure, raw, unforgettable. And maybe that's why it hurts so much. Because in a world that rarely slows down, that goodbye reminded everyone of something tender and true. That even the brightest smiles carry weight. That strength sometimes looks like stepping away. And that saying goodbye, when done with honesty and love, can be one of the bravest acts of all. Mornings would go on. New voices would fill the air. The mugs would still be placed just so. But for those who witnessed that tearful farewell live, there would always be a quiet echo when the music played. A reminder of the day Kelly Ripa looked into the camera, let her guard down, and trusted the world with her heart. And in doing so, left an imprint that would linger long after the lights dimmed.